Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the October 25th, 2022 solar eclipse in Scorpio, part 2 of 2. Now, it's important to look at the electional aspects that this transit makes, as this could impact its delineation and interpretation. Now, this is going to make a tight conjunction to Venus in Scorpio. This may be expressed in intensified enjoyment in whatever one may embark on in connection with the solar eclipse, and may also emphasize something that will generate money, and it could be something Scorpio related, such as psychology, toxicology, locksmithing, coroner work, embalming, surgery, or the occult, which includes astrology. And it may be auspicious for those that are single and are looking to embark on a new relationship. Venus is connected with love and relationships. Now, since this is in Scorpio, it could be with a person that is a Scorpio sun, moon, or ascendant, or embody those characteristics. It may be started, and whatever may be started with this, it may be done with much emotional intensity, passion, and desire. Now, what's interesting is the fact that an appeal for Brittany Griner will take place on the day of the solar eclipse in Scorpio. The eclipse is going to make a loose conjunction to her natal sun, and the sun astrology is about life. Now, being hopeful, this may manifest in the beginning of a new life out of prison. With this being in Scorpio, it could emphasize one in which she would gain control and power back in it. Now, in her solar sunrise chart, it falls in the first house, which is associated with new beginnings. And this could be a life-altering experience. And the new moon solar eclipse is connected with new beginnings as well. And it does fall on the same day as the solar eclipse in Scorpio. The thing about this is, as far as, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, Brittany Griner, I really don't know if the appeal is actually going to work. I mean, the people or the courts, I'm thinking, are very, willful and really intransigent. I don't know if she's going to get out unless they're able to negotiate a situation with the U.S. in order to do so. But we will see, and time will tell as far as that goes. Now, let's see, another thing I want to get at as well with this are the other electional transits, and let's see what else is going on. That are other electional transits that are taking place at the same time of the solar eclipse can be of significance because they can be intensified and amplified because they're taking place at the same time as this new moon solar eclipse. And Jupiter in Aries will be making an out-of-sign sextile to Pluto in Capricorn. And this might work well with the solar eclipse in Scorpio. Jupiter sextile Pluto can be fortuitous and lucky for making a major change or transformation. The solar eclipse in Scorpio can manifest in a new beginning that is associated with a major change or transformation. Now, with Jupiter being in Aries, could give added courage and fortitude in doing this. And the sextile to Pluto and Capricorn may emphasize career-related matters for some, and it may also be expressed in some instances as positive for prosperity, which is Jupiter, and something connected with the occult, which is Pluto, which could include astrology. And the new moon in Scorpio can indicate a start in doing something in that field. So this energy could actually be very auspicious for working together. And the Jupiter-Pluto sextile may reinforce this. Jupiter retrograde is not necessarily adverse in this, because you could just make this energy, this may make the energy more introspective. With new moon solar eclipses in astrology are more introspective anyway. And then you have the Jupiter being retrograde as well at this time. And another thing that's significant are the other transits that take place to your natal chart at this time, because they could be more pronounced and prominent because they are taking place at the same time as this solar eclipse. And transit Mars in Gemini is going to be making a trine to my natal Jupiter in Libra. Now, by itself, this may manifest in having the right amount of drive and motivation and enthusiasm, which is Mars, to expand horizons, which is Jupiter. And it may be very auspicious for doing manifold activities. And that's Gemini. Mars is about action, activity. Gemini is about variety and doing many of something, manifold things. And it could also being positive, but not over optimistic in what can be done. And Jupiter in Libra can be lucky when balancing things, so to speak. The aspect may make it easier to balance manifold Gemini activities at this time, with the trine to Mars, Gemini that I'm having, transit Mars in Gemini, trining my natal Jupiter in Libra. And I'm thinking it may manifest in a lot of that mental Gemini activity and energy, and it could be doing so while maybe expanding, which is Jupiter, upon my relationships, which is Libra, in the process. And the thing about this too is that now, in some instances, this may be expressed in attaining something, that may have seemed, at least initially, as unattainable or insurmountable. Now, for example, let's say someone has the solar eclipse in the ninth house of the law. Now, let's say a crime, resulting in death has been committed, and you're working just in law enforcement, but you're not involved in that, forensics, constituent or department. Now, the forensics team, let's say they're being lazy, they're apathetic. They may, they might be procrastinating on the case for whatever reason. And now let's say you take it upon yourself to try to solve it without having any forensics experience. You may have thought initially there was no way this could have been done. Now somehow you found the ability to do so, and being in the ninth house, it may inspire the person to pursue this in higher education as well. Now also too, I believe, an eclipse can result in events that could be serendipitous. What may start out as something that may be adverse may ultimately result in something positive. Now, say for example, that someone, is let go from their job. And the person, after finding out about the termination, okay, they leave the business, they start walking, and during their walk, they notice someone is in trouble, and the person sees another person stuck inside, or hears him stuck inside a recycling machine. And the person decides to help responders to extricate this person from the machine. And the person that extricates the man from the machine is offered a position in that recycling company, which pays more money than the previous job that he or she had, and also that the person that saved the other person may be heralded as a hero. So, as an example, now it's interesting. There's going to be a conference called, I don't know if I'm saying it right, EduCause in Denver, Colorado. And it's going to take place from October 25th to 28th in 2022. October 25th, of course, is the day of the eclipse. And there's also going to be, they're going to have like an online version of this event conference from November 2nd to the 3rd. And, the reality is, when you have, something like this. It's about networking and initiating something that's connected with networking among people. And the thing is, the new moon solar eclipse is about initiating events, and you start out with something that is connected with some kind of networking. And the thing is, it's an opportunity, to meet others, and maybe even, there could be, a shared resources. It could ultimately lead to a shared resources situation. Have a like a business connection that's associated, a business connection that can result as a result of having connection through networking at this particular event. And Scorpio is associated with shared resources, and it's a sign that is, Scorpio is connected with shared resources. And the thing about this is, to elaborate a little more on it, there's actually, there's opportunity at this event to reconnect with those in person. And there may also be manifold networking opportunities. The solar eclipse in Scorpio. Something else I want to include: Scorpio is going to make, again, a tight conjunction to Venus in Scorpio. And now Scorpio is the sign of rebirth and regeneration. Venus corresponds with relationships. And this could be an excellent opportunity to resurrect, which is Scorpio, connections, relationships, which is Venus. Now, the thing about this is, if one is starting a new one, it could lead to a shared resources, which is Scorpio situation, which can include a business partnership. And the fact this is starting on the day of the solar eclipse can make this more significant, and it may have very life-altering, effect for more people at this time. And remember, the new moon solar eclipse again can be about new starts and beginnings, and the first day of this event at this conference does fall on the same day as the solar eclipse. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.